Greetings and welcome. I am Joffrey, and today we're back after having missed Friday with a new Tinto talk. Yes, we're talking about the Protestant Reformation, more or less this time, from what I gathered. Uh, Situations involving the Catholic Church, and perhaps if we have time before I need to run off to work, as this always ends up being, we'll get to cover the the things we missed about the Pope on Friday, or was it Thursday? It was Thursday, I think. All right. Now, stop playing soundboard. All right. Yes. Oh my gosh! I forgot to make the joke. There's a joke here about the paradox. Paradox makes a diary about the Catholic Church. The Pope dies the same week. What? What did they do to him? I think
This advertising campaign is getting too real.
a little tour. They need a Pope death to get people to come to watch, to look at their death diaries. Uh, See, I choose to believe it's that the Pope read how little power he has. He read about how little power he has in the Catholic Church IO, and he just couldn't take it.
Could not handle it.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Right. So, three historical situations present in the game: the Western Schism, the Reformation, and the Council of Trent. All my homies love Trent. A real wholesome dude. Uh, the Western Schism, though. This is the funny Avignon papacy thing, I do believe. It's only one of the multiple different anti-popes that happened. I know there was a ton, but I believe that the point is that this was the biggest one because it had the backing of the King of France. But I don't have enough historical context on that. Fun fact: I am not an expert on the history of popes. Doesn't seem the most interesting to me, if I'm being honest. But Papal conclave, yes. They have their vote to see who becomes the next pope. But they have a new head of the papal conclave. We do not currently have a pope. So they get a papal conclave, and then there is a character that is the head, because you always need to have a head of the nation. You can't just have, what is it, the Hearts of Iron. I think there's some countries that have an interim government as their ruler. And it just shows a picture of some dudes at a desk.
Or a building.
Or a building. What? Oh, I didn't know that.
Fallen government in the UK just shows an empty parliament.
Oh. That's pretty great, actually. But here, you can't just show an empty chair. As funny as it would be to just the empty papal throne, there is in fact a conclave, and there will be a person at the head of it. But it is interesting. It reduces the stability growth. I like that. Yeah. Of course, yeah. There's no possible heir, yeah, because they need to elect a pope. The Pope dies, the cardinals gather to debate on who will be the new Pope. This can be quick, but sometimes may take several years. Did it, in real life, it did not take a long time. Like, the longest it took was a few months in real life, eh?
No, there were some times where there were a couple years.
Yeah, really? Oh, I thought it was
Hey,
that,
let me
like,
check for you.
okay. I had thought it was, like, it one time took, like, 3 months, and so, the lords of the land started to get grumpy and were like,
The longest papal conclave lasted from 1268 to 1271.
now that's petty. That's petty. They did not.
It's because they require a 2/3 majority, and if they don't get it, they just start voting again.
So they kept on needing to have votes, and they just
It's not a
never
simple. It's
did.
not a simple 51% majority. It is a
2/3.
66.667%.
Oh. Well, that's not easy. Yeah, unless they just everyone just really likes one dude. Hmm. Yes. If it's the year 1360 or later, a schism might strike the Catholic Church, making for a divided election. So this is the schism. Yeah, I think it means the specific one. It's just kind of being vague, but I guess it's just because it's not saying the Western Schism yet, because it hasn't fully played out. Petty factionalism. Yes. Even if the church has been divided before, this is of a different nature. Ooh. Yeah, because the papacy falling under French control, the Italians are not happy with the French controlling the Pope. This is making me think about how it's so interesting that there never was really like just a united kingdom of Italy that could have but like if there was a united kingdom of Italy, it would have been so uh incredibly dominant in how much it would influence the Pope. And I never really thought about the fact that if there was a period of time where the French had control of the Pope, with them being in Avignon, that it's impossible to overstate how much authority they would have suddenly just by having the Pope in their lands. Oh boy, we have a big old set of UI and information here. The I guess because these are the two different popes. Cahors? Like there's a pope in Rome and a pope in Cahors. I don't know what Cahors is. Maybe. And then the Pope Johannes in is the Pope in Rome, and then the King Philippe of France is trying to promote the papacy in France. So maybe the fact that it's saying Cahors here is because there's a tile in France called Cahors, and it's not like guaranteed that the Pope like the anti-pope will be set up in Avignon. I don't know, but I should read
Perhaps.
what else it has to say. Yeah, Cahors. So it is the place. Neutral voters. Like Rome. They're the supporters of Rome. The Papal States itself. And then supporters of Cahors. Wow, look at all of these French vassals supporting Cahors. Isn't that weird? Presumably these are all French vassals. I recognize, I mean, obviously that's France, and then this is a symbol that I definitely think is French, but I assume these are probably, no, but that's like Armagn, no, oh, that's Castile, no, that's not Armagnon. It's just that Armagnon looks very similar to Castile-Leon. But these are probably all people that have cardinals, is the point. Uh, and a lot of the people that have cardinals would just happen to be bishoprics, I think, at game start is the point. Curious that Castile has no opinion on this at the moment. I thought they would pick a side. Probably supporting Rome. Just to get on France's nerves. But the contenders, the Papal States, the Pope residing either in Avignon or in Rome on one side, and the country backing the second Pope on the other. Okay. Support gathered by each Pope, which will slowly tick up until one of them reaches 100% support and a reform desire. More on this later. Curial countries that support each candidate and the available actions. What actions were there? Show unity of faith. I don't. Okay. I'm not sure what that would do, but I guess the yeah. So the only people involved, The Western Schism involves specifically people that are Catholic with cardinals. I guess is the point. Good day, Legende. Good day, good day. We're discussing Pope, but not the dead one. A different dead one. The dead one in EU5. Yeah. Very topical indeed. But the starting point of the vote progress. So, progress towards a papal state being able to call a council. So, each of them gets progress towards being able to call a council to like make a final vote, and the idea being that the more that either of them is supported, the faster they get progress towards being able to call this council. And then whoever gets the most votes in the end wins.
I believe.
Show the unity of faith. Every location in the designated province will gain show unity of faith. You gain progress towards spiritualist. It doesn't seem like that does anything beneficial to the actual vote, but I mean it's just a thing you can do during this, I guess. Huh. This is what happens because of the curia actions of the Catholic Church being blocked. So yeah, the Catholic Church just cannot like curia. Yeah. The Pope cannot do stuff until there is a single Pope decided to go on. Okay. And here I was under the impression that they were going to have different laws that they would pass, and okay, never mind, that's fine. Okay. Your friend had a question about CK3 realms and Exile character's sister. Her traits were interesting. Don't worry about that. I mean, he has a few, he has a few siblings. I don't know. What? And which character? I don't know. Weird. What a weird thing to ask. Huh. Strange. Huh. Hmm. I mean, all his siblings are dead anyway. Really, it's just except the one guy. So I don't know. The situation map mode showing the countries supporting each side. So green is neutral, I guess. French candidate has more support than the current candidate, while Castile is sitting on the fence at the election. There will be some possible actions to gather support for each candidate, and some events may trigger randomly during this situation. Okay, it's good random events to trigger. They should spice things up. There will be some possible actions to gather support for. Yeah, yes. And after a while, one of the candidates will gather enough support to reunite the church again. So, so the Pope does control Avignon. Okay. I didn't know. I was a little confused. The Pope does in fact have that already. I do not have enough background information to understand what the whole situation with Avignon is. Also, it's interesting. I didn't know that one of the people was Majorca, but Majorca is one of these people with cardinals. I definitely can understand why Majorca would support the Pope over France, because France having control over the Pope would not be very beneficial for Majorca. These dudes. Is the Church united again? After the Council, the Church has been united again under a new Pope. The Catholic Church remains whole and unbroken, but the authority of the Pope has significantly weakened during this period. Hopefully this has not damaged our faith permanently. However, there are more perils for the Catholic Church. Bum, bum, bum.
Dun dun dun.
What more perils could await? What? They already had two popes. That's crazy. What else could possibly be worse than that? Oh no! It's the dude! Martin Luther looking
The
baked out of his
guy.
mind. Oh my goodness, he looks like he is on something good. Woo! The Reformation. After the year 1510, a certain Augustinian monk will protest against the uses of the church, starting the Reformation. And he's in Perugia apparently, so um that's funny because that's awful close to Rome. Courtier in
Yeah,
Perugia. That's
I, from what I can tell, they have it where it can spawn anywhere in the Catholic world, and I really feel like Italy should be an exception to that.
maybe. Wow. If it could spawn anywhere, if this dude could be anywhere in the Catholic world, he could be in an Irish tribe. He could just be hanging out in an Irish tribe and then converts all of Ireland
Yeah,
to Lutheranism.
it should probably be Northern Europe because I don't see it doing so well in regions that have significant numbers of cardinals like Italy or France or even Iberia,
Yeah.
but especially Italy and France.
If it spawned in like Majorca, it would just die instantly.
Also, yeah, putting it directly adjacent to the Pope wouldn't be good.
Northern Germany. I mean, historically, there's probably a reason that it was able to flourish in a region that was full of these tiny states that were all often at odds with the Pope, super far away from him, as opposed to being in Perugia, which I think is on the Pope's side in the whole Guelphs and Ghibellines argument. So no, bald one. It should appear in Iceland. Oh no! Greenland Luther! Greenland Luther!
Yeah, I feel like based on where it might spawn, it might just get completely destroyed instantly or destroy Catholicism instantly. Because depending on how it spreads, if it spreads in Italy at a super rat, I don't think that's a particularly good thing.
I, yeah, gosh, it would be funny though if like to imagine the Reformation taking hold in Italy specifically, and then the Pope being overthrown and having the Roman Republic a good few hundred years early. Oh dear. Most reformists are from Northern Europe. Yes. Protestant cult in Iceland. I love the description of it as a cult hiding out in Iceland. It is, those Lutherans out in Iceland. Be careful if you're venturing out to Iceland. I hear the place is overtaken by dark cultists. They nail their complaints to windows or church posts. It's very dangerous. And let Calvin in Greenland. Are they gonna mention the Calvinists here? That's would be my question. Reformation of the Catholic faith. Oh, phone is. Go away, Snapchat. You were annoying. I really should uninstall it. Always messaging me with things that aren't even relevant to me. Lutheranism. A new heresy has appeared in Christianity. Clearly, these are people who do not understand that the only truth is the Catholic faith.
True. True.
The Legende, we do know that there will be a Calvinist faith. There, it's not just called Lutheranism. It's not just called Protestantism, because we were told very early that there were going to be multiple, and some of the specific ones mentioned were Lutheran and Calvin. So also the Waldensians. The Waldensians and Cathars are religions that have small minorities at game start still. So, eh. Yes, the Thule Protestants. Good. The Thule Protestants shall take over the world. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Reformation to Catholic. They still have the blue cross thing. The EU4 icons over each other. Funny. Lutheran pops 16,000 versus Catholic pops 49 million. Whoa!
It's pretty close.
Oh,
Pretty close.
It's a tight race, yeah. It's curious why it's specifically saying Lutherans, though.
So that's because they are Lutheran. They're not like counting, I guess, Calvinists and others yet.
But there's no
They're
space
only
in the
counting that
UI
Lutheran,
here
right?
for others, is
Yep.
the point.
I guess they just don't count. Also, if he spawns outside of Germany, that shouldn't be his name. He should have a localized name, which
Well,
would mean the religion would also need a localized name.
Martin is probably not his given name, because that's a Latin name, from my understanding at least. Luther, I don't know. I
Luther is German
that doesn't sound
because
Latin,
it was. It is German. So it's in German, I think it was Ludher.
right? Hmm.
And since the religion is named after his last name, not his first, it's not called a Martinian
that
Well, Mags, of course nowadays it is. That's because he was like a big deal. We're talking like during this time period before a certain person named Martin Luther became famous.
I didn't. I don't know. German's only one side of my family. I don't know if Martin. It just doesn't sound especially German. Uh, but there's lots of names that make their way down from Latin to the rest of Europe and get localized.
Well, you see, again, if his name was Martini in Latin, that would mean that there's multiple of him. See, a Roman soldier walks into a bar and asks for a Martinez. The bartender says, "You mean a martini?" And the Roman soldier says, "If I wanted two, I would have asked for them."
So they would just be called the Lutherini. It would be Lutherini pops. This is such a bad bit. We need to move on. Lutherii. No. Get off of my eyes. Zero Lutheran preachers active. I gotta look at what they're saying. I must move along. Ignore them. Ignore the chat. They're bad. Alright. The elements you can see, yeah, Lutheran and Catholic pops, each the main active reformer, since all of them are characters that may spawn by event. So there are like there are specific characters that may spawn by event. That's interesting. Than Lutheran preachers. So it's a building that may spawn. More of these buildings. Interesting. They're getting a ton of mileage out of these buildings that appear. It seems. I think that's generally a good thing. I like the precedent that there can be situations that will cause buildings to spawn and they're not necessarily good buildings. So I'm curious whether how easy it will be to, I don't know, if you're playing as the Archbishop of Culm and there's a Lutheran preacher that pops up in your land, can you just stop that? Can you just walk up to the building, Lutheran preacher's building, and just be like, demolish this, and then it go away? How do you do? It's a building that may spawn and spread. This is like a Skaven Undercity. God damn. The Protestants everywhere. Oh my God.
Must stop them.
Religious conversion 1%. Every month 1%.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Or pretty bad.
See, it's per location. Meaning you will need hundreds of these.
And then as pops move around, this is just going to get annoying. Oh my God. You could have one of these spawn in like just a big settlement. Frankfurt. Frankfurt. Over the Deutsch.
Yeah, and
it's and it just
gonna be
pumps
very...
out tons of Protestant burghers and nobles, and they move around. Get him off! Get him off!
Very random, because they'll be like, "Oh, it spawned in this location that has 10,000 pops. I don't care," or "Oh, it spawned in Paris. I'm fucked."
If it spawns in Paris and you can't delete the building, you're gonna be panicking very quick as France, because that's like, you're such a top heavy country that even with 1% of Paris every month would just destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who's this Ulrich dude? Is he Sigmar's god?
I think he's just a random. I don't recognize his name.
Zwingli. Ulrich Zwingli. Ignore the weird graphical bug. This might be the situation a year or two after the Reformation starts. I don't know what these symbols are. There's like some people, and there's just a hat, and okay. But yeah, whoever this Ulrich dude is, if he's not a predefined, oh, they're both 27 years old. What the hell? Huh?
Oh, and they also have the same portrait.
Ignore the weird graphical bug.
Yeah.
But, they have their own portrait. Hussites? Question mark? What?
Yeah.
What?
Hussite? Yes.
Most normal day in France. Yeah, I was saying, I was saying earlier, James, as soon as I saw this picture, my immediate response is that Martin is on something good. He's kind of staring off to the side. Now, mind you, most relatives I have, when they're on something, they get happy, so they don't kind of stare blankly into space. So, well,
Depends on the drug.
A second reformer, Zwingli, appeared in Switzerland, making the free city of Bern a Lutheran bastion. And also 7 Lutheran preachers' buildings appeared in that city? As in, he spawned?
No, probably in the area around it.
Okay. Because you... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Like, that looks like, yeah, like, that's around 8 locations. So, yeah, that makes sense. Because it's like, that's the religion. Okay. Yeah. Zwingli. Perugia is, yeah. Yeah, Perugia isn't just one of the supporters of the Pope in the Guelphs versus Ghibellines thing. It's the closest one. I knew the name was familiar.
Yeah,
It's
it really
it,
shouldn't be spawning there,
it's
directly adjacent to the Pope.
it's one of the two that's in EU4, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Perugia and Urbino, I think they are. Wow. 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 See, the country's already converted to Lutheranism. The locations that already have Lutheran popes and also other Protestant confessions present, such as the Hussites in Bohemia. Near the red borders, some countries decide. So he's playing as the Pope here, the green borders, and Siena and France are at war with him. Oh God! Wow. Well, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Oops. Wouldn't the Pope like send an army or something? Well, he probably would if it wasn't for the war against France. Um, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a thing you could do really. This is like all of the Pope supporting factions in Italy are converting to Protestant, which is just like I don't know if that's how that works. We should be able to make Baron Gilles de Rais king in France. I don't know who Gilles de Rais is, but maybe I should. The Reformation may last for a while because these are the ending triggers. So either the year needs to be 1700. What year did this happen? 1510.
1510.
After 1510, this can happen. Just sometime after 1510. So it's probably got a mean time to happen of like a decade. So yeah, a potential time of between 1500 and 1700 basically. So you have basically 200 years to work with here.
Or, yeah, so either 200 years or you've completed all the wars of religion and the Council of Trent.
The wars of religion situation has ended and is not active, yeah. So it needs
Yeah.
to have happened. You can't just not have it happen. And the Council of Trent has to have happened as well. So that's going to be tough. Yeah. But seeing as the third one is the Council of Trent, I don't suppose we're going to learn about the wars of religion today, which is unfortunate, but such is the way of things. God, the wars of religion are going to be so whack if Luther can spawn anywhere. Like, how do they determine what countries are gonna... Like, can you have Protestant Spain?
Perhaps.
So Protestant Spain, like, before they're, like, leaning into colonization big time. Just the new world of South America is just Protestant, dude. I don't know what to say. That's what it is. If you're close to the Pope, at least get a debuff for spreading Protestantism. I just think it shouldn't spawn in Italy. Personally. I like the concept of the
Really shouldn't.
dynamism of it appearing in a random spot, but there should be limits. I do
I think
like
Northern or Eastern Europe. You could let it spawn in like Poland, Germany, Scandi, or the British Isles.
hmm, you really want a general fixed location. You want a specific tile. You want a specific tile. Like you want it to always spawn in the same region. Locate fixed location as in fixed region. Like you want it to always be in like North Germany, for example. So like it could maybe spawn in Bremen one game or Frankfurt in another, but it should always be North Germany. So you wouldn't even get it like to spawn in like Switzerland. Javier mentioned in a comment that Italy already has a negative weight. So it has a negative
It shouldn't be a
weight,
It
but
shouldn't be a negative weight. It should just be a restriction.
negative weight doesn't stop it from happening. Yeah. Ah.
Because the fact that this test game that they're using as the example has it in Italy proves that it's not enough.
Because okay, like I think it would be interesting to have it in France, for example. Like that could work. But like, and you've got all these different vassals of France. Like, what's if some of them started becoming Protestant? So that sort of thing could be neat. Germany's of course the best place for it to happen, but Italy, I do think that Italy in general should be a hard no. I would almost say Iberia as well, but but like I wouldn't even say Iberia because it like doesn't make sense. I'd be saying Iberia because it would ruin the Reformation. It wouldn't work if it spawned in Iberia. If it spawned in Iberia, it would only work if the game like just twisted, like forced Castile to be and Aragon to become Protestant. Otherwise, it just wouldn't do anything. You know. Because like as a player, if it spawns, if you're playing Castile and it spawns in you, like you don't care at that point. Like in France, you'd care if it spawned in Paris, but like in Castile, for example, there's no like specific city it could even target that would be like this dooms you. Northern Germany is Frankfurt's in the north half of Germany. Germany's not special enough. It's getting considered having a central split here for the Reformation. The Reformation pretty distinctly historically targeted Germany in a north-south split.
The body Cornish, eh? Have you been paying attention to the mega campaign?
I'm not I honestly don't think Evie knows about what's going on in the mega campaign because I'm not streaming it.
uh,
Yeah, it's being recorded, but it's not being streamed, so I don't think that Evie would have any way of knowing about that. Oh, well, but the CK3 part was.
yeah.
I did stream the CK3 segment, so maybe Evie knows about the body corn land there. Or maybe
What
it's
a
just because
cancer
Evie's
that
the person
is.
who keeps talking about wanting to play as Cornwall in EU5, so who knows? What if it spawns in northern Norway or something?
So from what I can tell, it seems to end up having a couple of hotspots. So if there's one hotspot in northern Norway,
Yeah,
I'm sure that there will also be hotspots elsewhere.
that's
Because as you
fair.
can see, it's in Italy,
There's even
it's
one here.
in around Aachen, and in Switzerland.
There's even a little bit of something up in Bologna slash Picardy, whatever you'd call. I mean, it's the border of Wallonia Picardy. So it does pick a few places. And the fact that it was allowed to, like, you had a second spawning of it in Switzerland, for example, proves that it is like this dynamism continues because uh otherwise, if it was like scripted specific where things would where it would happen, then that would mean that you would only get Calvin in Switzerland. It would be a case of Calvin shows up in Switzerland specifically, and the other dudes show up specifically in different parts of Germany. Yeah, yeah, the Cathars being in France is definitely a good example of why it could spawn there. I mean, I'm personally gonna want to do a game where I'll like release Toulouse as a vassal and play as them, assuming that they do end up
First
making
game.
some Cathars exist.
Adding it to the first game list.
Of course, of course, of
Good.
course.
Good.
I mean, I already had Dauphiny. Dauphiny on my list of first games because there's Waldensians up in the Highlands.
Hmm.
Moonster playthrough anyone? I'll only play Moonster if Martin shows up. Martin in Moonster. Hmm. It's just so weird to think about the fact that if you're playing this and you're wanting to stay Catholic, or even if you're not wanting to stay Catholic, this will be a case of you're gonna be just holding your breath, waiting for the Reformation to start, being like, please do not spawn on me. You'll be playing Milan, and you'll just be like, listen, I know it's not weighted to spawn in Italy, but please, I beg, do not spawn in Milano. Or just be like, okay, we'll not spawn in Milan. We'll spawn in Modena or Padua or something instead. Genoa, the Genoese Martin Luther. But let's continue on to the Council of Trent, because this has been a lot of waffling. May have to close my door. All right. Council of Trent. Yes, the successes of the Lutheran movement can no longer go unchallenged. His Holiness has tasked a commission of cardinals with addressing the challenges posed by it. While the Catholic faith itself must not be compromised, His Holiness and most cardinals are willing to admit that some Lutheran complaints are valid. For instance, there can be no dispute that the frequent absenteeism of bishops and the worldly excesses of the clergy are a stain on the Church's reputation. Therefore, a council will be convened in Trent to discuss how best to reform the Church and meet the challenges of the reformers and begin the process of counter-reformation. Leg reveal. Shit, he saw my leg. Oh no. EU5 have relics. Relics? What do you mean relics? Relics how? Like a special stick?
It's like artworks.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the Emperor of the HRE's crown and orb. The orb. Those are things. Yeah. I've never heard of St. Joseph's pants. I'm willing to bet that they're not going to be in EU5.
Why
Gonna be
wouldn't
honest.
they be? St. Joseph's pants? They're huge.
Nope.
Trust me, as a Catholic, I know.
You know, you've studied his pants.
His pants are very important.
Yeah. Well, I went to two different schools called St. Joseph's School growing up, and neither of them ever told me about St. Joseph's pants. Hmm?
You just didn't go to the right schools.
I don't know why. There were two in the same school district called St. Joseph's School. One of them was a high school and one of them was an elementary school. Uh, Change every member can propose law, start law debate. You lose some gold. An invitation will be sent to all Catholic countries. That's hovering over this. Yeah. All right. There again, there's the Lutheran symbol there. They really are. They're making this all about Luther. He's just the most special boy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, policy and debate. 0 to 5 policies succeeded and 0 to 5. So when you get to 5 of 5 of either successes or failures, it ends? It ended? Then the Council of Trent, the church comes together to debate. Every member can start debates. When a debated policy passes the debate, the council is perceived as successful. Otherwise, the reforms within the faith are seen as a waste of time and the council is a failure. No debate is currently active. And these are the laws. Okay. Society of Jesus. Purchasing indulgences, papal authority, venerations of saints. That, yeah, again, you could potentially get rid of the veneration of saints and reliquaries. That's really funny. Marriage of priests. Oh, there's so many things. Dude, if the Protestants convince you to persecute witches, that would be hilarious.
Ever.
It would be hilarious. The Council of Trent is a success. We no longer venerate the saints. We no longer we no longer bar priests from marrying, and we persecute witches. No, the Ark of the Ark of the Covenant is not an object. It's not a an item in the game. It's a tech. There is a tech relating to it.
Heck.
Yes.
You mean an advance?
No. No.
They don't use the word tech.
Well, I do.
They use the word advance.
And I did not mean advance. You see, advance implies that the people who don't have them are not advanced.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that the Blackfoot are just fine without that walls advance. They may not have that walls advance, but they should be just as fine to play. Why can't I just build other things than walls? Like a buffalo run, huh? Or the wheel or written language? You be quiet. You be quiet.
Yeah, did they have those, Joffrey?
Yeah. No. Also, they didn't know what horses were, so they didn't have horseback riding. But those things are important. They had dogs and buffalo jumps.
Did
God,
they
I
do
love
any sort of
buffalo
metalworking, any sort of bronze or copper or any of that? Come on, like copper, that's like the most basic sort of
They
metalworking.
chose not to.
Ah.
There was no need.
Come on.
They
Even
were
the
in-
most
they were-
basic form of metalwork.
They were in such harmony with the earth, you don't understand, Darth. They didn't need to build walls and stuff and things. Mm-mm.
L.
Is there a little man under my door? Yeah, he is. There's a small gremlin child behind me. I am on a stream right now. I'm talking about boring stuff. You wouldn't, no, sorry. Uh,
Child.
yes, yes. He thinks he's sneaking in here. He said, okay, well, okay, yeah. There you are. Yeah, as you can see the side of your head. Yeah, right there. This isn't my kid, this is my brother. Oh, gosh, I would never have a kid like this. Oof. He would never be allowed to do such ridiculousness.
How you dare say that?
He is very, he would be very disobedient. Um, witches and stuff? Okay, so to end this, you need to, any of these need to happen. At least one. Either 5 debates have passed or 5. Don't screech in the microphone
I'm
now.
not going to.
Do that.
I'm not
Don't do it. Don't.
All good until Joffrey sends his brother on a hunting trip. You know, you sometimes just need to. I do not. That is not what I'm like, I swear. Wait, I'm doing it now! I immediately start scratching.
I got him! I got him!
In theory, you can have 2 IOs of the same faith but wildly different structures. Well, it's not that it makes the like a new international organization. It's just that all of these different things will change the laws of the church. So like it's the same IO. It's just that some of the way that it works changes. Hair on camera, impossible. Now they're making Paul jokes because you're here. Look what you've done. Look what you've done, you little gremlin. What a ridiculousness. We'll get him out of the way for a bit. Laws can be voted on. People of
Papal authority.
Papal authority.
Oh,
I'm too distracted by this monster.
Ultramontanism. Galicianism. Or Galicianism. I don't even know what these words mean, and I'm Catholic.
Oh, I forgot about Invisible Church. It's disappeared.
No,
It disappeared.
you disappear.
That's fair. But yeah, because they talked about all these on the last week's one. So Legende, he's probably not going to go bald because he's probably going to go like in between because all the men on my side of his family go bald by the time they're 20. And they really should.
And he might turn.
Ben should go bald though.
No, he shouldn't.
He really should.
And
but his mother's side of the family, all the people have way too much hair. So also that side of the family is really tall, so he's going to be taller than me and have hair. It's like I just don't. It's not going to be fair.
I'm already taller than you.
Yeah,
And you're
look
sitting
at him. He's so tall.
already.
Give me that.
I think this from dead.
Yeah. It's a little late. He's asking. That's my
he
dad.
said he sent it to like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, well,
I came in, but
it's a little late. It's a little late for that now. He's already here. And yeah, I have acquired a young servant. You see, it's not uncommon for him to like scratch away at the door. It's just that he doesn't normally actually come in. He'll just like stick his hand under there and just like
until you let me in.
until I let him in. It just
Oh yeah, I remember yesterday when I was like,
yes, and then people post gifs in Discord about let me in. Now he's trying to grab my candies.
sour level.
You want one?
Yeah.
You want one?
I'm gonna try one.
You have a blueberry one.
Oh yeah, that is sour.
Yes. Yeah, it's
He's
very sour.
thieving.
It's not that I gave him. It's very sour though. It's just gonna be too sour for him.
I've been lied to.
It is sour. It is.
Not.
Is Joffrey a wimp in terms of sour?
I can't have spicy things and I can't have sour things either. What am I?
Oh my lord, Joffrey, you're such a wimp.
I got shown up by my little brother. Do I go? Well, if going around Costco counts as a walk, sure. We haven't gone to the park together in a while.
This counts as a walk.
We used to go to the park a lot, but fun fact, you don't go to the parks much in the winter, so.
One time I did.
You went to the park in the winter? Yeah, I doubt it.
Not a playground, a park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So next week will be the final part of the... No, hey!
More non-sour.
No. Well, if you ask nicely, I'll give you a green one. Because maybe green is more sour. No, it's not going to be because you already had one. That makes it less sour once you've already had one. The first one's the only one that actually is
Incorrect.
sour.
It's more sour.
Oh, okay. Maybe we're cooking. The final part of the Western religious... So we're gonna learn about the actual different mechanics about the different Protestant churches and the war of religion. So that means we'll finally learn about the what is the church that is deterministic and they'll never re-roll stuff? Do not.
That's what?
Do not. I have work in half an hour. You cannot be hiding that now. He loves to hide my hat.
It's true.
He will hide my hat somewhere in the house, and I'll need to go searching for it for like half an hour. I should not have time for that. But one of the there was the joke about like whichever one of the Protestant confessions is deterministic, and it's like they don't re-roll dice.
Oh, you mean Oh, yeah.
Yeah, predetermined.
The Calvinists.
It is the Calvinists. Okay, yeah. So Switzerland.
Predestination.
Switzerland just doesn't get to re-roll their dice in combat. Yes. Yes, the young man does play games. I was just introducing him to the Oblivion remake yesterday. He came in just as I was starting it, so I made a character, played it for a while, and then I was very bad. So then he made a character, and it was way more beautiful than mine, and he also did much better.
On hard.
He was on expert mode, and neither of us realized it, and he was doing really good until he fought a wolf, and then he had to run away. He had to kite the wolf across like half of like Lake Rumare, which was funny.
Hey, but I killed him.
He also plays Roblox and Minecraft. Yes.
Yes.
And he tries to get me to mod Minecraft for him. Yes.
Yes. I just want the know.
He really wants me to give him this mod called Deep Fried Minecraft.
It's violent.
It's very, very hard to look at, yes.
Yeah. The sound is violently loud.
It's terrifying. The timing of the talk was perfect.
Was his will.
Why are you even here? This is boring stuff. I'm just talking about my map game stuff. Map game, yeah. It's just a map. I guess he's just showing off in front of the camera. He hasn't done this before, so he's yeah.
And is this an actual video?
This is on the internet right now.
Oh.
I am on the internet right now. You are on the web. So.
Oh. Well, I already was when you did that Minecraft video.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
Just now everybody knows about the weird Sosei sounds.
They're saying hi, little child.
I'm kind of little.
Yes, you are little.
I'm not super little though.
Okay, fine. Just normal little. Mm,
Hmm.
No, there's no way for the church to be permanently split. Building a university and not owning Rome. So
I'm
how?
owning my.
No. It's bad.
Right, so it can't spawn
Good.
in the papal state,
No, not owning Rome. If you own Rome,
but it could
can't
spawn.
happen to you.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
papal
so-
state is not a target.
Wait, does that mean
for
if the
it.
papal state loses Rome and stays in Avignon, it could
Yes.
spawn in them?
Yes, that seems to mean that.
Oh
Of
no.
course he was. He does that a lot too. Black Death is a great. Yes, the Pope talking with J.D. Vance. Yes, it's a great... hmm. Eat the Pope. Hmm. Plans to make the Pope more involved in the to make. There aren't only Lutheran preachers and reformers. Because they did, yeah. So that explains why, because this Ulrich Zwingli dude showed up and he has a Catholic image, but I don't know what's up with that. And then this guy is a different, no, or, I don't know. These are different symbols. I think this is the Catholic one now.
Dangerous.
Maybe I might actually leave.
Oh, and this is oh, that's the Calvin symbol. Okay. Bye bye. No, I do not know the famous Ulrich Zwingli, if that was a real person. Hmm. There's somewhat historical outcomes. The weights are per location with a regional weight, so it's more likely for the Reformation to appear in Germany than any other region. But the system is super flexible. What's funny to me, I wonder if you just build a ton of universities, does that mean you're more likely to spawn it?
I guess.
And yes, I know about Calvin, yes. Okay, listen, Vlegende. I am not sorry for for being unaware of all of the different major reformers of the Reformation. Even if I was European, I wouldn't.
Heck, W.
I wouldn't have that. That wouldn't be something I'd expect to know. Oh, so this whole time you're just trying to make me feel bad this whole time. You're just oh you're so Vlegende comes out of the woodwork. Every like 5 streams you get the one Vlegende cameo and he just shows up to cause trouble. And yes, they always want the Reformation to spawn. Okay.
Down with the papists.
Oh, hi, Vector.
The heretics shall be crushed.
Never say never. What? Can't wait for the Schism DLC. Buy our new Council of Constantine DLC pack. Pick among the 3 different popes. Which one will rule the Holy Roman Church? And decide if you want to burn Janos or make him a living saint. Thanks, Pavia. Oh dear. I don't know any of these people. No, I'm sorry, but only a little sorry. You started to make me a little sorry for not knowing them.
How dare you not know?
No significance to this whatsoever. Be surprised how many assets from PDX games we've had in this game until being replaced by new ones. They even had Stellaris ones. Oh, that's great. Imagining Stellaris assets in EU5 temporarily.
I can't believe we're looking at Stellaris 2.
That is what we're getting.
Have you finally given up on that preposterous March of the Eagles 2? And you understand that this is actually
I still think it's more likely than Stellaris 2, but every day that passes, I'm getting more on board Stellaris 2.
Didn't we joke when the original map was revealed? It was like, 'cause one of the very first things that was shown was just an overview of the whole map, and we were like, whoa. This could be Stellaris, like, but it's like Dawn of War. I think was the joke we made, where it's like space age stuff on one planet.
Of course.
Successor. Oh, Zwingli is a cabinet member in his country. A few more years into the game, there's an interesting one for Calvin. He's the heir of the bishopric of Basel. You have to correct Calvinist theocracies being bishoprics, but oh well, halfway there. What would you call them then? What would a Calvinist theocracy be? I don't know what their priests are called.
I don't know, man.
Well, why don't you?
Calvinism's whack. Well, because I'm Catholic, not Calvinist.
Know your enemy, and you shall know yourself. So why don't you know them?
No.
Your greatest foe, the people of Geneva.
The predestined, I don't know.
Our greatest foe aren't the Calvinists.
Yeah, what do you mean? The menace from Geneva.
No. Oh, they are not.
Hmm. The magistrate tried heretics, not the church. I think that depends. I think that was a pretty that was a pretty case by case thing. Who tried heretics? More UI questions, yeah.
I try heretics.
Oh. Yeah, I like the what happened to the Catholic population? It was like 85 million, but the bubonic plague. The Black Death happened in Europe, but it hasn't had 150 years to recover, so it's just the Protestant Reformation immediately after the Black Death murdered everyone. So there's like no people in Europe. That's great. Catalan lands? What? Okay. In regards to your question about what the Calvinist theocracy looks like, so what you're saying is that a Calvinist theocracy wouldn't exist? There just wouldn't be one. I mean, I don't know. well, I don't know enough about Calvinists, and because of the way that the game works, yeah, that is an interesting point. Is that the paradox games are they're games where theocracy. CK3, okay, CK3 is a game where lay clergy is a thing, and lay clergy stops that from happening, and basically all of the heresies, I think the vast majority of heresies of Christianity, do not allow like theocracies because they're lay clergy. So it's interesting to point out the fact that like there definitely are Protestant sects that could have uh, theocratic realms, but not all. That's for sure.
I want
I
to
just
point
don't know
out
enough.
that in his second paragraph, he honestly should have crossed out "join the dark side"
Yeah.
in regards to Martin Luther.
Mhm.
That's the truth.
What
He
makes
did join the dark side.
they were going to discuss what makes a man go join the dark side and nail 95 theses. Yes. Ugh, what a menace. Damn. But I do need to go to work soon, TM, so I should probably wrap this up. And then Villain comes back and sends me another donation. Oh my gosh. Villain, stop!
Super chat.
Villain, stop! You can just ask the question. You're like my best friend. Stop sending me money. The start date for EU5 is 1337. The start date for EU5 is 1337, and the end is 17. No, 18? Yeah, it's 1800s, right? It's early 1800s, I think, not 1700s. Do you guys?
It's 18. Is it still 1821 or is it going to be like 1836?
The end is irrelevant. No, dude, line. It is not. It is crucial. Everyone gets
plays
to
to
the end
date. I've never heard of someone that hasn't hit the end date in every single one of their games.
Mm-hmm. Informally, it will end in 1600 when everyone stops playing. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, I've gotten to 1700 twice now in EU4. Whoa. I have only played with absolutism twice ever. Yeah. Yikes. I certainly hope that EU5 has more things that will cause people to want to keep playing. I want that investment. Hmm. Three times with the no the mega wait, the mega hasn't hit. Has the mega hit 1700? No. 16.
We have absolutism.
50?
We've hit absolutism though.
Okay, then I've only hit 1700s once. Never mind. Base this statement of Mayu where you've never played. Well, Mayu and taxes, I can't. If you play at that for more than it takes to process what's on the screen, then you're a better man than I.
I mean, to be fair, in Mayu, the AI doesn't know how to work the systems, so of course you're done by 1500 because there's no competition. The AI just falls off a cliff.
I played a game of Mayo and Taxes as Norway for a while, and I very quickly realized that and decided I was done. Because I murdered the hell out of Sweden and Denmark because they just didn't know how to use armies. They couldn't raise armies even. It was like at the beginning of the game even already they just couldn't have armies. Which was bizarre. Mayonnaise taxes? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. I'll have to hit 1700s sometime in Anbanar. I gotta get to the Age of Witch Kings, you know.
Witch Kings is 1600s.
Shush. What's the last one then?
Revolutions again.
Again? Oh fuck! Black Powder.
No, it's the Age of Artificery. It's
Oh.
Artificery. My bad.
Oh. Oh yeah, because that's when the most based faction stops being based. The Oni start giving out the secret of their black dames tier, and then everyone uses it and cheats. Not fair. It's not fair. Anyway, we should end this stream.
Yes.
Oh, did you ever go further in your Gorbrad game? Oh no, you're the person who left that comment that made me feel so sad, aren't you? No, I need to check my comments. You are the person who left that one, aren't you? Oh no, I think that's the most recent comment I have on the channel. Is that question of, no, second most recent. Yeah, you are, no! I thought I recognized your name! When I read that message, I felt so bad. Because no, I didn't go further in the Gorbrad game. I just kind of felt like, I guess I'm done. And then I stopped. And you know why I feel so bad about it? Because I know what it's like to be that dude who is watching a Let's Play, and then the guy just stops. I didn't even get through all the missions, not even remotely. I didn't even cause the mountain to explode or whatever it is. Uh, I need to like actually finish the Obtroll one that I'm doing. I was actually debating on streaming Obtroll earlier, but I knew that if we didn't start this stream when we did, we would never finish it. So that's the only reason I didn't continue Obtroll today. Actually. But the fact that you can see that GIMP is open at the bottom of my screen, but I'm not gonna hover over that for you because that's secret stuff. That's secret, super secret CK3 map modding stuff. Don't worry about it. And that stuff keeps distracting me. So, I need to actually end the stream. Gotta do it now. So, like, I'm gonna end it. I promise.
Okay, just end the damn stream.
I'm gonna end it soon, like now. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.